Now this is a story all about how my life got turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I got invited to cover Crispifest in Boiling Springs, right off Highway 9. At New Groove is where I spend most of my time, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all, shooting some b-ball outside of the school. When a couple of guys who were up to no good started brewing beer in the neighborhood. They had one too many, and Beer Me GVL got fright. He said, "Take your butt back to Columbia tonight." I whistled for a cab, but when it came near, the license plate was fresh and anime in the mirror. If anything, I could say that this cab was rare, but I thought, nah, forget it, you're home, so New Groove. I pulled up to the house about 10 a.m. and I yelled to the cabbie, "You home, smell you later." I looked at the brewery, I was finally there to sit on my throne as the Prince of Crispifest.
Crispifest from New Groove Artisan Brewery in Boiling Springs, the greater Spartanburg area. What's south? I don't know what south is. This is north.
Yeah,
I live south. I live by Columbia. That's south.
Upstate, right?
Yeah,
yeah, the upstate. Yeah,
you're upstate. So now, as far as liability is concerned, Jared Tuttle, Head Brewer at Liability.
A lot of lagers today.
A lot of lagers. A lot of lagers. A lot of lagers. That could be a name for a beer, right?
A lot of lagers. Yeah. Had a long day, but a lot of lagers.
When I think of Liability, I think of Belgians.
Yeah.
I think of sours, and I think of some hazies.
Oh, that's nice.
So none of those fall under the Crispi tent. So,
what did you guys win your World Beer Cup?
Yes, we just got that award for the light lager. But like honestly, when we started, you're right. Belgians and other like drinkable beers, the sours and stuff like that. But you got people in the door just clean beer. But now we love making lagers, and that's all I want to make.
Yeah, no, I think the whole country is becoming back around to the whole scheme of things. You know, they went through this IPA, brown ales, sour ales, lagers, or dark beers, and they go through this whole spectrum.
Yeah.
And you come right back to lager beers. Everybody comes right back to lager beers because they're the best. They're the most drinkable beers that you can have.
How does that tie into your background coming from Thomas Creek as far as clear beers?
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, both of us started Thomas Creek. We both ran the homebrew shop. Helped out brewers and stuff. Like,
no home brewer wants to brew a lager beer, though. You know, I mean,
it's a difficult beer to make. It's one of those beers that's so simple sometimes that you overthink it.
Yeah.
And if you just let the yeast and the malt do its job, you'll be good. But honestly, that's why all these brewers are out here, because we all love lager beers.
Yeah.
We want to sit down and drink. It's a well-known secret that we all love High Life.
I've heard that's a thing between brewers.
We drink a lot of High Life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a Miller Lite earlier. I have a Miller Lite in the fridge.
PBR. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, PBR, dude.
Yeah.
As long as it's not $3.
Yeah.
But that's the times of change of people's palates and things like that. Dude, all right. Look, we've been having a good time today. All right? And we're finishing up right now.
You had a tent. You had a tent set up for Liability, so we'll put you on hold for a second. Andrew, you did not have a tent set up for Swamp Rabbit. So, give us your impartial opinion of what were the best Crispies today at Crispifest.
Oh man, I had some Doppelbocks. I had some Mexican lagers. I had some Keller beers that were fantastic. I mean, everything out here today was just really, really good and it's super drinkable. And that's kind of where I think the national trend is taking us, is back to lager beers. Something that you can drink, something that isn't, 16 words in the description of the beer. I think people are getting a little tired of seeing these beers that are, this.
Well, and I think like IPAs came through because the hops were so unique, and you have all these different flavors. And once you realize that your palate can handle flavors, you could actually drink a beer that has a complexity without all this extra.
Yeah, and that's what's so nice about this festival. It's just the simplicity of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh. What did Liability bring today? What did you bring that exemplified the theme of Crispifest?
Well, I'll start with it's new brew, so I had to bring some barrel aged. I know it's not crazy,
that's true.
but
you were out here in Woodstock in January.
Yeah, and we got a barrel aged wee heavy that that's fun to bring. But other than that, a Doppelbock, and then our light lager that we just won a World Beer Cup award for, which was that's pretty neat. Like,
it's killer. It's awesome.
Yeah. Now this guy's he's been there, done that. So.
Well, your medals up to the test of each other.
Oh no!
How many World Cup beers do you?
I one for one. Into this mic, I'm like, hey man, the best margin in town that you can get year round. That's like being able to like. Have
that's such a good lager beer. Yeah, I really do think that lager beers are coming back around into the main public eye of the eye of the storm kind of thing, and
it's a different kind of a complexity.
It is. And I think for a long time, Americans thought that lagers were just these basic light beer drinking, Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Lite, all these beers. But it's like lagers can be complex. Lagers can be very dynamic, and they can be extremely drinkable. That's the key to it, right? But this whole nuance of being able to go to a brewery and have like 3 or 4 beers, and they're not filling you up, they're not over hopping everything, and it's just like, I think it's coming back around.
So how do you guys, as brewers, or as brewers instructing your bar staff, how do you guys sell? How do you sell? How do you want your staff to sell?
Presentation.
Lagers, pilsners, that sort of thing into the just run-of-the-mill beer.
Yeah, different glassware is a big deal. Putting head on a beer is a good deal. Just marketing it as being drinkable. Something, hey, you're going to have 2 or 3 of these. Instead of like an IPA or a dark porter or a stout, it's imperial stout, barrel aged, yada yada yada. Those are great beers, but you can only have 8 to 10 ounces of those. We really market lagers. Lagers are the beer for drinking all day, all afternoon.
And then like just sometimes you go. Sorry, Courtney. On a phone call. Yeah. Courtney's amazing. She does. She's the one that makes me work so hard because she's selling me beer. So she can interrupt me anytime.
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes that beer for drinking, all right? So getting back to like...
Well, there's a lot of different kind of lager beers, too. I mean, we have Oktoberfest, Vienna lagers,
our Schwartz beer we've been making since day one.
Yeah.
It's a dark lager.
You have a black IPA right now, right? Is that a lager beer?
No, we didn't lager it, but still, it's a dark beer that you expect to be roasting all the time.
How do you differentiate for the clientele to drink your beer, whether that's Swamp Rabbit or whether that's Liability? How do you differentiate for them to drink your beer over Bud Light, Miller Lite, Coors Light?
It's a community kind of effort too.
Sometimes just come in and try it.
Yeah. And there's a lot of education involved. They don't know how beer is made. They think that craft necessarily dictates high ABV or high
or expensive
IBU or expensive or and it's like, no, we have a Pilsner. Like, you can come in and you can literally have a 16-ounce pour that's just like every other Pilsner you've had, and you will enjoy it. And we have I hate to say convert, but we have converted a lot of people in Traveler's Rest that come in and they're not sure what to have, and
hey man,
the bartenders
down the street, like I drink a Miller Lite or a Budweiser or something like that, and you have to be like, well, look, this is. I mean, we have the same craft as those guys. Like, beer is a craft, no matter how you make it. And maybe it's for masses, for everybody, but hey, come in and try my craft. Try how I would make it that way. And that's what I think people sometimes appreciate or enjoy.
I don't want to draw lines in the sand, but it is Crispifest. It is a festival of crushable lagers. Differentiate. I don't know what the heck just happened.
Hey, you're hitting the high point of tonight. Okay? Just put it out there. It's been a great day.
Differentiate your crushers from your host, New Grooves.
Oh, well, okay. That's, let's see. I think me and Duke, as the head brewer at New Grooves, love the same kinds of beer. But it's the same thing of whenever he makes a beer and I make a beer. You'll sit and talk. The brew house that you work on, the water you're working with, the way you treat certain things, it changes everything.
We could have the same recipe and brew it at multiple different locations, totally different beer.
Maybe like glycol or whatever does the fermenter a little better than his or something. It could be that small, but that's what makes us all unique and why there's not competition. So like compared to New Groove right now, I mean, they're working in a really small spot and they're making really great crusher beers. I might have to make them more often, but he's doing the same thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
With a lot more restraints and in his own way.
Well, since I have both of you here to wrap up, give one final word about Swamp Rabbit Brewery, about Liability Brewing Company. What's one thing you want to get out to the world of it, to the greater beer drinking population of your particular beer, of your particular brand?
I would say that like we follow protocols that have been dated back to Carl Strauss, who created PBR. So like our techniques are and it's like our protocols and our everything dates back to that. And so when we do lager beer, it dates very far back to that traditional American lager beer, which is a little bit of German touch to it. And so that's the big thing for us is protocols.
Yeah.
And we can brew a lot of different beers on kind of any system. Right now we're on a 10-barrel system, but those protocols transfer between any kind of system like that. And so that it's very classically brewed, yes. And that kind of technique is not losing face value, but it is one of those things where we're not seeing a lot more of it. We're seeing, and this is not a bad thing, we're seeing a lot of home brewers come up and build breweries and start breweries. And for me, as a home brewer in the past, being able to learn and being able to really dictate that lineage has been awesome.
Well, and without putting all these other like things. Okay, simple beer is hard to make because it's simple.
Yeah,
like or beer that you just like. This is
but it comes down to you're talking about like water minerality and
we can talk about this all day.
Yeah,
right. But even coming down to the point of like just having somebody that has beer. This is a Doppelbock.
Yeah.
This is a wit beer.
Yeah.
This is this, and nobody be like, well, where's the blood orange? Where's this or where's the chocolate or. Well,
yeah.
This is where it started.
Yeah.
So I think to answer your question, I feel like for both of us, we've always loved classic beers.
Yeah.
And I want to make classic beers.
Yeah, beer has been around for a long time. And it's like, there's no need to reinvent the wheel. Now the reason
the wheel was so good. I said this the other day.
And there's
the
a
reason the wheel was so good is because they had beer when they made it.
You need to be a little bit tipsy to make us the perfect circular.
Right. This triangle could be a circle.
Yeah. Fred Flintstone might have to work his calves a little bit more.
Yeah, Larry, I will take a ride.
Yeah.
Just make a beer.
Yeah, we make beer that people that like beer.
Jared Andrew, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks,
and appreciate you guys.
Absolutely, man. Good talk.
Local, drink local, support local. That's all I got. What do you guys got?
I'd say Greenville will be hard pressed to be without us, man.
Cheers.